Have you ever contemplated the concept of immortality, the idea of living forever? Throughout history, humans have been fascinated by the prospect of eternal life. From ancient mythology to modern pop culture, the allure of immortality permeates our collective consciousness. It's a topic that stirs the imagination and provokes deep philosophical questions. What if time held no sway over us? What if, like the unending universe, we too could exist endlessly? Today, we will dive into the scientific perspective of this age-old question. Immortality, a concept often found in mythology and fiction. But what does it really mean? At its core, immortality is the idea of living forever, free from the constraints of time and age. It's the notion of an endless existence, untouched by the inevitability of death. There are different ways to understand immortality. Biological immortality, for instance, is about the ability of an organism to live indefinitely, barring accidents or disease. On the other hand, digital immortality is about preserving conscious experiences or personality in a digital format, like a computer, for instance. The concept of immortality has a rich history, deeply interwoven with our cultural narratives and mythologies. From the ancient Greeks' gods to modern superheroes, the idea of living forever has always captivated the human imagination. Yet, from a scientific perspective, immortality is a complex and multi-layered concept. It's not just about living forever, it's about understanding what it means to exist beyond the limits of a human lifespan. Science has always been intrigued by the possibility of immortality, so how far have we come? Well, in recent years we have seen a surge in the scientific advancements in the field of life extension and anti-aging. Let's start with genetic manipulation. Scientists have identified certain genes linked to longevity and are experimenting with ways to modify these genes to extend life. The successes are encouraging, but the challenges are many. For instance, the process is complex, and it's not yet clear how these modifications might impact other aspects of health and well-being. Then, we have stem cell therapy. Stem cells are unique in that they can develop into many different types of cells in the body. They can repair tissue damage and potentially slow down or even reverse the aging process. The potential is enormous, but so are the obstacles. For example, controlling stem cells so they don't cause unwanted growths is a major hurdle. And let's not forget about artificial intelligence. With the help of AI, we're exploring the possibility of integrating human consciousness into machines or digital platforms. This could potentially allow us to live on indefinitely, albeit in a non-biological form. It's a fascinating concept, but it's also fraught with difficulties. Some critics even question whether such a digital existence can truly be considered life. Each of these fields has made remarkable progress, but they are not without their drawbacks. Genetic manipulation raises concerns about unintended consequences and ethical implications. Stem cell therapy, while promising, still has a long way to go before it's ready for widespread use. And the idea of AI integration, while it's exciting, also raises a host of philosophical and ethical questions. While we have made significant strides in understanding and potentially extending life, true immortality still eludes us. Despite these challenges, however, the quest for immortality continues, driven by our innate human curiosity and the desire to push the boundaries of what's possible. Immortality might sound appealing, but it also raises many ethical questions. One of the foremost issues is overpopulation. If no one dies but people continue to be born, we'll inevitably exhaust the planet's resources at an alarming speed. Would immortality only be available to a select few to avoid this? If so, who gets to decide who lives forever? This leads us to another ethical dilemma: inequality. If only the wealthy can afford to be immortal, it could create an immense gap between the haves and the have-nots. Immortality might become the ultimate symbol of privilege, exacerbating social tensions and economic disparities. Then there's the question of identity. If we live forever, do we remain the same person throughout eternity, or do we continually change and evolve? What does it mean for our personal relationships if we outlive everyone we know? Finally, we must consider the value of life itself. Much of what gives life meaning is its finite nature. The knowledge that our time is limited pushes us to make the most of it. If we were immortal, would we still feel the same urgency to live, learn, and love? Or would life lose its preciousness? As we push the boundaries of science, it's important that we also consider the moral and ethical implications of our discoveries. So, what does the future hold for immortality? It's a tantalizing question, isn't it? As we look ahead, it's clear that the pursuit of immortality is far from over. In fact, it's accelerating. In the realm of science and technology, we see a future where immortality might not just be about extending our physical lives, but also about preserving our consciousness. This is where the concept of digital immortality comes into play. Imagine a future where our minds, our thoughts, our very essence could be uploaded onto a digital platform. We could exist indefinitely, beyond the constraints of our physical bodies. This is not just science fiction. Researchers are already exploring the concept of mind uploading, using advanced neuroimaging and computational neuroscience. It's a field that's still in its infancy, but the potential is enormous. If successful, it could redefine our understanding of life and death. But what about the societal impact of these developments? Immortality, in any form, could shake up our societal structures and norms. We would need to rethink everything from our legal systems to our social contracts. How would we handle population growth? What would happen to our economies? These are profound questions that we would need to address. And then there's the question of inequality. Would immortality be a privilege of the few or a right for all? This is a crucial question that we must grapple with as we move forward. In the end, the future of immortality is as much about our values, our ethics, and our humanity as it is about our scientific and technological advancements. It's a journey that will challenge us, stimulate us, and perhaps even frighten us. But it's a journey that we seem destined to embark on. Whether or not immortality is possible, the pursuit of it continues to drive scientific advancement and provoke thought on what it means to be human. So let's keep asking questions, exploring possibilities, and pushing the boundaries of our understanding. For in the pursuit of immortality, we might just discover more about what it truly means to be alive.